Sometimes my work is like pinning someone down with love and care and a little bit of aggressiveness. Let me tell you what I mean. Just came out of a session and someone who's been really feeling bad for a while. And, and this is very common. It's not just this person, but, people want to talk about the pain. People want to stay around the pain or quickly, avoid the pain. IFS, which is not something I'm trained in, but it does a good job of naming this. It's like these parts of us that protect us from our pain. They're very strong. They're very compelling. And yet what's so interesting is that in my 30 years of journey since, really taking on healing myself after huge trauma, in my nearly 20 years of being a licensed therapist and, hundreds and thousands of hours with people, I don't know how many, but I've really come to understand that the thing that the therapeutic industry doesn't get, the thing that actually helps us heal and transform, is learning how to bring our awareness and identity actually into the part that is hurting and suffering. When you were a child, your parents, with love or without love, talked you out of your feelings, okay? Now, as an adult who's just trying to avoid discomfort, you are subtly and sometimes like intellectually and even therapeutically minded or mindset minded or manifest your reality minded, talking yourself out of your experience. You're protecting yourself from your experience because it's terrifying. What if you drop in? What will happen to you? Will you get stuck there forever? Are you actually going to realize that it's true that you are a worthless piece of shit? Well, the part of you that's wounded thinks that you're a worthless piece of shit. It's true to them. Even if they're 2% of your being and 98% of you thinks you're fantastic, that part is positive that it is the truth and the rest of you is a cover up. And here is the trick, y'all. Okay? You have to learn how to welcome in that part of you, maybe at first from like the position of like, I'm the resource adult, this is a wounded child, but then to become that part of you where you're like, I'm a piece of shit. And like that you're relating to that consciousness of the adult or the resource part or the caregiver as the other, that you become the wounded part. You release your pain from the wounded part as the wounded part. And then when it's like, it won't release anymore, that's where you take your emotional dump from, y'all. When it won't release anymore, that's when you start to go into reality testing. Is it really true that I'm a worthless piece of shit? Is it true that nobody loves me? And I can tell you a lot about how to do that well, because it's not like going to that hyperbolic affirmation bullshit that you don't actually believe, okay? And then self-care. How can I take care of myself? What do I need given how sad I am, given how ashamed I am, given how scared I am? If you get good at this, if you practice this again and again, you will heal. You will integrate the part of you that feels bad. It will finally feel undismissed, finally feel welcome, finally feel like it belongs, finally feel lighter, one emotional release at a time, that it's not carrying around this backlog of immense suffering, that it is the problem. It is the scapegoat. And you need to stop scapegoating it, need to stop casting it out like the villain, even if you're doing it in really subtle, tricky ways where you're just like trying to have less discomfort, okay? Now, I know this is complicated, but it's the real deal. It's the difference between healing and not healing is learning this move. So feel free to follow me if you don't already. I can help you do it. I really believe in it. I'd put my life on it. I'd put everything I've ever learned. This is the move you need to learn, okay?